Jason, iCapital came out with its 2025 Global Advisor Survey, and it found that advisors really are adding more alternatives to client portfolios. So how is technology helping with that adoption?
I think there's really three ways technology helps: pre-trade, trade, and post-trade. From a pre-trade standpoint, technology is helping with portfolio design and portfolio construction, i.e. how do alternatives fit into portfolios. From a trade standpoint, obviously buying an alternative is riddled with pain points, and so technology reduces the friction. And from a post-trade standpoint, you get reporting in a single centralized place, even if you're buying funds from multiple GPs.
And where is technology making the biggest impact? Is it with the advisor experience? Is it the onboarding process? So where's the rubber really hitting the road?
I think it's in the entire end-to-end experience. And the whole goal that we're trying to achieve at iCapital is reducing the friction for advisors to make it more seamless for them to invest in alternatives on behalf of their clients.
And I'm going to have worlds collide here. So can you talk about how the blockchain is helping with this private market adoption by advisors?
So I would say the infrastructure underpinning alternative investments and their ecosystem today is quite archaic. And what the distributed ledger technology is doing is helping to uplift that across the board. It introduces a single source of truth. It introduces one standardized and consistent way to transmit data. It reduces latency, and it massively reduces any manual reconciliation.
Can you give me like a real world example about how the blockchain is working with advisors or for advisors to help them adopt more alternatives or private market assets into client portfolios? Just a real world example, if you will.
Sure. So we talked about reducing friction in the investing experience. When you buy something and the trade is transmitted through the DLT, the distributed ledger technology, you can almost think about having that data transmitted in a structured way, helping to massively reduce the amount of NIGOs that happen. And so in this example, if NIGOs are reduced, it makes it a lot easier and more seamless for advisors to invest more in more alternatives on behalf of their clients.
So over at iCapital, what are advisors asking you in particular when it comes to using technology to further the adoption of alternatives?
I think it comes in two places. Number one is portfolio construction. What we've done at iCapital is invest in a tool called Architect, which is a portfolio construction tool. So if you're an advisor and if you have a 60-40 portfolio, you want to see, if I had this private equity fund, how does it impact the outcomes of my portfolio? We can now do that seamlessly. So that's one. The second is, let's say I'm an advisor and I bought 10 funds. I bought them from various GPs across various admins. I want to see the performance and I want to get my statements in one centralized place. And the technology we're building helps the advisors do that more seamlessly.
And I can't believe we've gone this far and I haven't asked you about AI. So where does AI fit into all this, if it does?
We're very focused at iCapital on leveraging AI across the business. I'll give you one specific area where we are going miles and miles deep is on extraction. So taking structured documents and extracting data from them, and this is across PPMs, it's across subdocs, it's across PCAPs and account statements, because obviously in our business, we get hundreds of thousands of those documents in any given month. And in order to extract data and put it in a structured data model, creates all of the standardized and centralized dashboards from a post-reporting standpoint that I mentioned earlier.
All right, and then finally, okay, we've talked about AI and the blockchain and alternatives. So what's the next big thing? What's the new thing?
I think it's figuring out how we enable advisors to think about using alternative investments right alongside traditional public market investments, but doing it in the most seamless way possible. Just like you saw the pendulum swing on mutual funds and ETFs from hard to buy to now they're one click of a button. Some of the things we're working on is thinking about how do we package all types of alternative investments together, say in model portfolios, so it becomes very easy to buy. Of course, leveraging DLT and leveraging AI to do that, but when we think about the next big thing, it's all from the experience of the financial advisor.
All right, well, thanks a lot for coming on and talking about it.
Thanks, Greg.